Hey guys. Okay. So I'm back with another video. Hold on. So I wanted to do this live because I think it's uber important for me to be transparent and blunt and just, I want to say earnest, I think, with where I am concerning my life, concerning I keep trying to like pat my hair down so that it looks good. Okay. So anyway, to get rid of the frizz. But yeah, so I wanted to come do a live, and I'm back from running errands, done eating, all of that. So this is my life. And so the topic is how to heal from your mistakes and your setbacks. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So basically, I chose to move to Barcelona because it was a guided message that I received from my okay, we were frozen for a second there. Okay, so it was a guided message that I received from my my intuition, my higher self, my spiritual guides. So in choosing to follow through on this intuition and this download, it has not been a great experience, to say the least. So, so I've been having a lot of hard times since I've been here. And with everything that I've gone through, I've been able to overcome, but now I'm in a place where I don't think I can force it anymore. I don't think I can make what I want happen. I mean, I could, but then I would be jeopardizing a lot of things. I would be jeopardizing my health. I would be jeopardizing my finances, and I would be jeopardizing my happiness, my emotional state of what it is that I want to create for myself. So I came here to create something that I wasn't prepared for. And with that, I've had a lot of setbacks, and I've had a lot of trials and tribulations. So I'm coming to a point in this journey that I've taken on where I think it would be best for me to just head back to America, come back home, settle down, whatever that means, but try and recalibrate myself, try and realign to whatever it is that I came to do here, realign it in back in America. And whatever it is that I am seeking here, I will have to kind of bring it to an end because it's just not working out for me. So the topic is how to heal from your mistakes. So what are your lessons? What are the lessons that you've learned from experiencing your setback? Okay, so these are the lessons that I've learned. I've learned that I need to plan things. I need to strategize. I've learned that I've learned so much. So I've learned that I've had just such a really beautiful and blessed life back in America. And I think I took that for granted. I didn't realize how loved and how taken care of I was in the States. And I think it's important to be able to recognize when you've had um, the the opportunity of, I want to say, when you've had it good, when you've had it great. It's good to recognize when you know you've had it great and when you don't. And so that's what I'm going through right now. So I had it good when I was back in America, and now I'm kind of struggling because um, it's really hard to kind of establish the same life that I was living in America in another country. And I didn't expect to establish the same exact lifestyle, but I didn't think it would be such a, I don't know the word for it, but I didn't think it would be such a hardship, to be honest with you. I didn't think it would be such a hard um, time building what it is that I wanted to build here. And now, with just the state of the way things are for everyone around the world, it's even gotten twice as hard to build what it is that I wanted to build here. So, um, so yeah. So back to the lessons. What else? What are some other lessons that I've gained from this experience? I think I've learned that you don't have to push yourself or force something to happen in your if it's not in your character to be that way. I think I have tried to continue to see it through, but I also do feel like, okay, I've seen that, I don't even know how to explain this. So I've seen that the the habits and the traits that I have in one place are the same habits and traits that I have in another place. So it's never going to be about, uh, I'm struggling trying to say this, but I think it's not about where you go. And it's not about, yes, certain environments do propel you to be that much more better of a person, but also you have to take a look at yourself, and you have to acknowledge and honor you when you know that you're the one who needs to change. So I realized that I'm the one that needs to figure out how I can be what it is that I'm trying to be, no matter where I am. So I lived in a lot of different places, and I've always had kind of the same characteristics along the way. Kind of very introverted, very retrospective, very self-reliant, very um, um, leaned back. So I'm not someone who's like a go-getter, even though, yeah, like I might come off as if I am a go-getter, and I am, but not in a way that it serves me, um, not in a way that it allows it to serve me no matter where I am. So, learning this about myself, learning that my personality um, is not matching up to the reality of a situation is is my lesson from all of this. So, my personality is very relaxed and very calm and very laid back and very kind of like, yeah, I'm someone that leans back and allows things to kind of unfold. And I like to process the experience that I'm having. But I'm also someone that, when it's time to get things done, I get things done. So I think what I'm trying to say is that I have to be able to, um, I don't even know. I have to work on myself more, or I have to be able to be the type of person that's okay with not being an A-type personality, or not being the type of person that is just going to jump on really like putting action into putting action or putting action behind things. Like, I think I'm the type of person that allows my desires to unfold. And so, what this journey has allowed me to do is to be able to see who I am truly, and the way that I perform, and the way that I manage and handle things. And certain uh, I want to say certain locales, or certain environments, certain spaces, geographical spaces, don't allow for this type of personality. Um, and so I guess just learning about who I am, being able to see when things are, it's time to step away. Because I think I'm the type of person, I don't think, I know. I know I'm the type of the person who doesn't give up. Like, I want what I want and I'm willing to work for it. And I'm the type of person that I'm always like um, pushing up against the wall, just because I don't want to give up so easily. So that's something that I struggle with, knowing when to say when, basically. So this is it. This is me saying when. Okay, like, I'm putting in the towel, I'm waving the white flag, and I'm calling truce, or I'm calling peace over my situation, over my life. There's been a lot of things that I've been through that I don't necessarily know how to explain it. All I can say is that it's been a very emotionally trying time for me. Even though I've been on here with a smile on my face, and with, I guess, like really positive energy, and that's just who I am. That's who I always am going to be, is someone who comes from a place of love, a place of light, and a place of um, happiness and truth and enjoyment. And then when things are going really bad for me, I'm the type of person that I hide. I don't really express my emotions. And I try to deal with it by myself, because that's what I've learned to do, is just deal with it. No one really um, wants to hear about your issues, right? That's what we tell ourselves. But when we can create space for each other, it allows you to open up. It allows you to release from the pain and the isolation and the loneliness that you experience in a time of hardship. So I guess this is me also doing that. So basically, I think in order to in order to heal and deal with your mistakes and your setbacks, I think it's important to acknowledge when you have to let go of something. And so this is me letting go of um, the not fully. So I don't know how to explain it, but this is me letting go of the notion that I am someone who can live like everybody else. Everybody who desires to move across the world to build a life for themselves. So my life can't look like everybody else, and neither can yours, and neither can the next person. But I would say that at least I gave it a try. At least I put the effort out there and I pushed myself to see if this was something that I could manage, if this was something that I could, if this was something that I could do. And looking at everything on paper, I realized that it's best for me to go back home, to go back to America, because that is where I will be taken care of the best, both emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically. So yeah. So does that mean that I'm never going to travel again, or I'm never going to put myself in a place where I'm willing to take a chance, or willing to sacrifice things? No. The answer is hell no. So I still want to travel. I still want to do not long stints, but medium lengths of time in other countries, just because I love to travel. That's who I am. That's where if I'm in a good space, that's where my creative juices flow. Another lesson that I've learned about myself is that which I think I've already mentioned it, but I tend to self-isolate a lot. I tend to be someone who isolates themselves from people just because I think that's my comfort zone. That's how I know that I can heal away from all of the noise and all of the voices that are trying to either tell you what to do or tell you what not to do. So I've learned that community is a very important aspect to my life, and I need that for the woman that I am, and for the woman that I want to be in the future. So learning to not be afraid to ask for help, learning to not be afraid to say that sometimes I don't necessarily know what it is that I'm doing. All I know is that I have to do it. And being okay with that, and then being okay with the consequences, and not in a negative light, but being okay with the ramifications of learning yourself through that process. All you're ever going to do when you go through something that you feel like you've made a mistake, or you've made a wrong choice, or this wasn't the direction that you thought things would flow, all you're ever going to do is just learn about yourself and be okay with the growth process, because all of this is just growth of you becoming that person that you desire to be. So with that, I am realizing that it's okay to recognize when you have to call it quits on something. It's okay to recognize when you don't necessarily do things when you don't necessarily do things the way it would probably benefit you in the long run. And to be honest, I don't really think either of the positions matter, like to plan something out and to be strategic about it, and to not plan something out, but to put things into place and go after it and just seeing the outcome. I can't say that I'm convinced that either one is better than the other. All I know is that both will reveal to you whatever it is that you need to know in the process. So I've gained a lot of knowledge. I've gained a lot of insight. I've gained a lot of information about myself. And that's what I love about traveling for me, is that when I leave to another country or when I go abroad, for me, it's a time of self-reflection. It's a time of facing your shadows, the darker sides of you that you don't necessarily pay um, attention to, but you know that it's there, but you don't really want to work on it. But when you're in isolation and when you're not in your comfort zone, that's when your shadow side comes out, and that's when you are confronted with the things that aren't working for you as the person that you are. That's when you're confronted with the behaviors and the thought processes that you hold. So your beliefs, the beliefs that you hold about who you are, about your life, about the world around you, about other people, about society, things of that sort come up. They get drudged up when you're by yourself, when you're isolated, when you're not in your normal standard of life. And that's what's happened to me. So if you get anything out of this video that I'm bringing to you, it's all about being willing to acknowledge how powerful you are, how much of a creator you are, and number two, I'm trying to think of how to say this, but I want to say number two, it's truly being willing to finally learn the lessons that you haven't completely learned. I was trying to think of another word, but the word is full in of itself. So it's truly being able to learn and get the totality of a lesson that you haven't fully truly learned in past experiences. Okay, so I hope that kind of gives you a sense of direction on how to heal from your setbacks and how to heal from your mistakes. Accepting and acknowledging that you're going to go through these moments where you where you make a decision and you follow your gut instincts, you follow your intuition, you follow your guidance, and you see, and you follow through with it, and you work it out, and you go towards whatever it is that you're doing, but things don't plan out the way that you would hope for it to plan out, or things just start to fall apart, and your experience turns into something that doesn't support you, doesn't support where you're going, doesn't support what you want. So yeah, so I would say learning that it's okay to it's okay to not always know the answer. It's okay to not always have what you want work out for you, no matter how many times it happens. Even if this is like the eighth time of you trying something and it not working out, does that mean that you give up on what it is that you truly desire, that you truly want for yourself? No, you go back to the drawing board and you set yourself up to win, and you learn more about who you are and you understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So for me, being in another country for a unforeseen amount of time without having things in place doesn't work for me. I'm not going to be able to thrive in that situation. I don't know who would, to be honest with you. Yeah, you could work through it, but how long are you going to, I'm trying to think of the word, punish yourself? How long are you going to punish yourself? And I feel like I've been punishing myself by trying to force it to fall into place, and it's not falling into place. But that doesn't mean that um, I'm not. I don't even know the word to say. That doesn't mean that I'm not bad or a bad person, or that doesn't mean that my life doesn't still have significance just because what I went for didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. Um, so yeah. So with that, I hope you guys were able to kind of find your truth in my experience, find understanding in some aspect of the things, of the mistakes that you've made with your life, or with the mistakes or setbacks that you've had with yourself, and know that it's okay. It's all a learning process. It's all a growing process. So now I know exactly how I want to handle my life from this point on. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to travel anymore. No, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to travel for long stints of time. No, it just means that I need to be willing to either put in the work a little bit more for the things that I want, or just not do it the way that I've been doing it. So there's this saying that says you can't do, I don't even know the quote, but you can't do the same thing the same way. Like you have to address it differently, or you have to attack it differently. So yeah, so I think that's what I've learned from this process that I've had living in Barcelona, being here for the last 4 months, trying to figure out life here. So my name is Ade Majek. I am the owner and creator of the In Her Experience, and this is what my business is about. It's about truly, truly understanding yourself more, being willing to take chances and being willing to make mistakes, and learning from your experiences and gaining a better view, a better perspective of what you want for yourself, and dealing with the emotions, the ups and the downs, and supporting yourself through that. So I am supporting myself through my own journey by looking at my actions, looking at my behaviors, looking at my perspectives, and in real time trying to kind of work through it. You guys are seeing me work through uh, a lot, and you're seeing me work through this, which is a huge triumph that I've that I've take that I've it's a huge triumph for me to be able to come on live and talk about uh, things that isn't easy talking about, and being exposed and being vulnerable and working it out in real time. So yeah, so that's the whole process of the inner experience. That's the whole foundation of the inner experience, is making mistakes and learning about yourself and developing yourself and growing through that. Um, so yeah, okay, I'm done talking. I'll talk to you again. Have a good one, guys. Bye.